is cartoons. Question 1. In the cartoon Hey Dougie, Dougie is the leader of the Squirrel Club, which is an after-school club where kids go to have adventures and earn activity badges. What kind of animal is Dougie?
A squirrel?
He's a dog. Dougie is a friendly brown dog, the leader of the squirrels, and is responsible for organizing their activities and making sure that everyone is having fun. I don't know who the squirrels are. I don't know why a dog leads them, but I think that's kind of funny. Question 2. In The Simpsons, what color is the mom Marge's hair?
Blue.
Marge has big, tall, blue hair. I was Marge Simpson for Halloween once, and I had a large, blue, tall wig that I wore.
There was a wig that actually stood up in your hair?
Yes. I think we still have it. It's very old, though. Question 3. In Gravity Falls, what is the name of the man that is an employee of the Mystery Shack and almost always wears a baseball cap and a shirt with a question mark on it? Dipper, Seuss, or Grunkle Stan?
Seuss.
Seuss is the answer. Did you know that Seuss is short for Jesus Ramirez, and he is a 22-year-old man who works as a handyman at the Mystery Shack and is a friend of Dipper and Mabel, and he provides them transportation when they need it. I didn't realize that Seuss was 22. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Do they talk about that in the show? Regardless, he is a very funny character. Question 4. In Peppa Pig, what color is Mommy Pig's dress?
Orange.
It is orange. And you know what I saw online?
What?
I think I read that Mommy and Daddy Pig are having another baby. Yes! I hope that's not a spoiler, but I think I saw that in a new season of Peppa Pig, Mommy Pig's gonna have another baby. That's exciting. Question 5. In the Netflix series Storybots, all of the Storybots' names start with what letter?
B.
Correct. Their names are Beep, Bing, Bang, Boop, and Bo.
I knew Bo.
Well,
That's
if you
it.
knew one,
I
then
knew Bo.
you knew the answer.
Bo's the big purple one.
Okay, that's a good show. I like that show.
It's very interesting.
Question 6. What is the name of the city in the cartoon DuckTales? Duckburg, Duckville, or Duck Creek?
Duckburg.
Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, airplanes. It's a duck blur. Great theme song. I love that DuckTales theme song. Question 7. As the lone animal in Bikini Bottom, what U.S. state does Sandy Cheeks come from?
Texas?
She's from Texas. That
Lone
is
Star
correct. The Lone Star State is where Sandy Cheeks is from. Round number 2 is ancient Egypt. Question 1. What animal was considered sacred by ancient Egyptians?
Cats.
You're right, it was cats. It is thought that most families kept a cat as a pet, which they believed would bring the household good luck. I hope that bearded dragons and turtles bring our household good luck, because we don't have a cat anymore. Question 2. Ancient Egyptians used pumice, eggshells, ashes, and crushed ox hooves for what? Food, toothpaste, or soap?
Toothpaste.
That's right. Egyptians are believed to be the first people to use substances made out of various ingredients to clean their teeth since 5000 BC. I also read that because they used pumice, which is like a porous rock, that they brushed off all the enamel on their teeth and made them really delicate and sensitive. They brushed off all the good stuff because they used not good things in their toothpaste. Question 3. In ancient Egypt, almost everyone had what hairstyle?
The Cleopatra one.
What's that?
The shoulder length or the The men had like the bald with the ponytail on the head. I don't know, but the girls had like the hairstyle with the bangs and the
like long, black, straight, shoulder-length
Yeah.
hair. The answer actually is almost everyone shaved their heads bald.
That's what I was going to second guess.
Lice was such a huge problem that going bald was a practical way to keep the lice out.
Oh,
Wow, that's crazy.
I wouldn't want to shave my hair off.
I wouldn't either, but if lice was rampant, I'd do it. Rather than dealing with that, no thank you. Question 4. What river did the ancient Egyptians drink from and bathe in? The Rhine, the Thames, or the Nile?
The Nile.
That is correct. The Nile River was the primary source of water for the ancient Egyptians, providing them with water for drinking, bathing, and irrigation. What is irrigation?
Crop system.
Crops, where you use the water from the river to water your crops. Correct. Question 5, true or false? In ancient Egypt, riding camels was the main mode of transportation.
False. They rode their cats.
Well, it is false, but they did not ride their cats. Horses were actually used for riding and in wars, and donkeys were used for agricultural work. They did not start riding camels until much later. Question 6. What was the name of the burial process used to keep the body preserved for the afterlife?
Mummification.
Mummification is correct. Turning people into mummies. Hundreds of square meters of bandages were used in making mummies. I think when they were unwrapped, like they unwrapped some mummies when they found them later to study them, and they just had to keep unwinding and unwinding and unwinding. And the scientists were probably like, what is happening? Look at all these bandages. Question 7. The first plague that God unleashed on the Egyptians when he sent Moses to free the Israelites was when he turned water into what? Blood, wine, or mud?
Blood.
It is blood. In the book of Exodus, Moses strikes the Nile River with his staff, causing the water to turn to blood, killing the fish, and making the water undrinkable. So like we talked about in question 4, they used the Nile River for everything. They used it for drinking, bathing, irrigation, recreation, all the things.
And then they couldn't use it.
So could you imagine? Blood is very like thick and sticky, and that would be a sight to see.
It'd be a bad sight to see.
It would be a bad sight to see.
Not be a good sight.
I agree. Round 3 is about plants, trees, and flowers. Question 1. In the game Plants vs. Zombies, what is normally the first plant you grow during the daytime that helps you generate sunlight to grow other plants? Yes, a sunflower. The basic sun producer is the sunflower. The nighttime sun producer is the sun shroom. Sun-producing plants are plants that generate sun over time when planted. The more on the lawn, the more sun will be generated. Have you ever played Plants vs. Zombies?
No.
Is it an Xbox game? Is it a computer game? Is it an app?
Phone game.
Oh, okay.
I think it can be really any, but I think that I don't know. Maybe
well,
don't quote me on that.
I hope the plants beat the zombies. I like plants more than I like zombies, so go plants. Question 2. What do you call plants that don't lose their leaves and keep them all year long? Deciduous, evergreen, or annuals?
Evergreen.
Correct. Evergreen literally means evergreen and refers to plants that retain their foliage throughout the year, unlike deciduous plants, which shed their leaves seasonally. Makes sense.
That does make sense. Not the deciduous word.
I wish that deciduous was as easy as evergreen. Like deciduous was like lose leaves. That would be much easier to remember. Question 3. Christmas trees are typically what tree species?
Evergreen pine trees.
That is correct. They are mostly fir, pine, or spruces. They are evergreen. That is true. Because Christmas trees don't lose their leaves. Question 4. How do ferns reproduce themselves? Spores, pollination, or grafting?
Spores.
Good guess. Spores is correct. Ferns do not flower but reproduce from spores, which are produced from the brown scales on the underside of mature fronds. Do you know what a fern is?
Yeah.
Okay. A fern is like a plant that has a long branch kind of thing with skinny little leaves on it. And those branches with the leaves are called fronds. So on the underside of those fronds is the spores. Millions of these tiny spores are scattered by the wind and with luck land on damp soil. When these germinate, they grow into small plants.
Wow.
Nature is so interesting. Like the way
really
nature works and the way everything happens is just magical. Question 5, true or false? Plants communicate with each other.
True.
You are right. Plants talk to each other in different ways, by using their root systems or by releasing chemical signals called volatile organic compounds into the air. There are also new studies that showed many different plant species make ultrasonic sounds to communicate stress. What? I love learning new stuff like this. That's so interesting.
They can communicate. I never would have
guessed that.
True, but yeah. I was like, well, this is a trivia podcast and everything's always crazy. So
everything's always crazy on trivia for kids. Question 6. How old is the oldest living tree? Around 1,000 years, around 2,500 years, or over 4,000 years?
Over 4,000 years. 2,500. Is that 1,000?
The oldest living tree is a bristlecone pine tree in California named Methuselah, and it's 4,853 years old. That means Methuselah is older than the pyramids. Who is Methuselah?
A tree.
Who is Methuselah in the Bible?
A girl.
What? Methuselah was the oldest living man in the Bible. So they named the oldest tree Methuselah. That's a great name.
Yep.
Question 7. What do you call plants that live underwater? Amphibious, aquatic, or shallow?
Aquatic.
Aquatic plants is the answer. Plants that live underwater are called aquatic plants or hydrophytes. There are 3 different kinds. Submerged plants are completely underwater and can be rooted or unrooted. Examples would be like sea grasses or seaweed. Floating plants have leaves that float on the water's surface like water lilies or lotuses. And the last one is trailing floating plants, which are rooted in shallow areas near the bank and form floating mats that extend over the water.
Over the water?
Yeah, like they hook onto the ground and then they float over the water. So submerged, floating, and trailing floating. Round 4 is Harry Potter. Question 1. What kind of spell is Wingardium Leviosa? A levitation spell, a light creation spell, or a truth spell?
A levitating spell.
You are right. One of the first charms taught at Hogwarts, Wingardium Leviosa, allows casters to levitate objects. Although students first experimented on smaller, lighter objects, such as feathers, ultimately the charm could be used on much heavier items. This reminds...
Leviosa.
Yeah.
Leviosa.
That's exactly what I was going to say when Hermione goes, it's Leviosa, not Leviosa, or whatever it is. I love her. Question 2. What are the house colors of Gryffindor?
Yellow and red.
Close. I mean, technically red and gold, but I will accept yellow.
What about my shirt?
It looks
Looks
just
very
like
like
that.
Gryffindor.
You are a Gryffindor today. Question 3. What was the profession of Hermione's muggle parents? Were they doctors, dentists, or teachers?
Dentists.
They are dentists. That is correct. Question 4. What is Ron most scared of? Girls, snakes, or spiders?
Spiders.
Had to be spiders. He does not love spiders. That was pretty good. For as poor as my accents have been. Spiders. Oh, Harry, I don't like spiders. Question 5. What does the spell reparo do?
Repairs things.
Repairs or fixes things. I remember Harry's glasses broke and
then
they were like, reparo, and it fixed them right up. That would be nice to have. Question 6. Who is nearly headless Nick? A wizard, a ghost, or a Death Eater?
A ghost.
Nearly headless Nick, or to give him his official name, Nicholas de Mimsy Porpington, was the Gryffindor house ghost, made famous for the fact that his head was attached to his body by a single flap of skin. So he's nearly headless. Not quite, because that one flap of skin is holding it on.
What happened?
Do we know? I don't remember. Question 7, true or false? Ginny is the only girl of the Weasley children.
That's true.
It is true. She's the only girl of Bill, Charles, Percy, Fred, George, Ron, and Ginny. And the parents' names are Molly and
Fred.
Arthur?
No, that's the son. Arthur.
Arthur and Molly are full Weasley family. Round 5 is hockey. We couldn't talk about Brooks's favorite sport without bringing him in. Hi, Brooks.
Hi.
How are you? Are you excited to talk about hockey? Brooks drew this hockey player right back here. His favorite. Is this your favorite, Chris Letang? You have a Chris Letang jersey. We went to the Pittsburgh Penguins NHL game when we were in Pittsburgh, and Brooks has been crazy about hockey ever since, aren't you?
Yeah.
What do you like about hockey?
I don't know, fights.
You like fights? I will say that is one of the best parts about hockey. I think everybody can agree with that. Question 1. Which hockey legend scored a record 10 hat tricks in one NHL season?
Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky is the answer. It's hard to say. Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky scored 10 hat tricks in the 1981 and 82 NHL season. He played for the Edmonton Oilers during that season. Gretzky also scored 92 goals for the Oilers during the 81-82 season with an accuracy rate of 24.9%. Gretzky has the most career hat tricks in the NHL with 50. What is a hat trick? Do you know?
Just doing stuff with your hat.
Nope, not doing stuff with your hat. So a hat trick is when one person scores 3 goals in one game. And then everybody takes off their hat and throws it onto the ice.
Why?
It's just tradition. If you're wearing a hat, you throw it out onto the rink. And then they have to come around and sweep up all the hats, and it's exciting. Question 2. How many periods are there in a hockey game?
3.
3 is the answer. Yes, there are 3 periods in hockey. So you play a period, then they get a break, then you play the second one, then you get a break, then they play the third one, and the game is over. Question 3. On average, how fast does the puck fly when shot at the goal in an NHL game?
Like 100 miles per hour.
Between 80 and 100 miles per hour, or 128 to 160 kilometers per hour. That is so fast. No wonder so many hockey players are missing teeth. If you got hit in the face with a puck going that fast, it would just pop your teeth right out. Question 4. What's the fantastic name of the NHL team from San Jose?
I don't know.
They are the San Jose Sharks.
I thought you meant like a person.
Nope. I was looking for their team name. Did you know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Question 5. Captains on a hockey team have one of 2 letters sewn onto their hockey jersey. Can you name one of these 2 letters?
M.
They either have a C for captain or an A for alternate captain. So the player with the A becomes the captain if the actual captain is not on the ice at that time.
Oh.
Yeah, so C or A is the answer. Question 6. The Rocket Richard Trophy is given to the NHL player who does what each hockey season? Saves the most goals, scores the most goals, or spends the most time in the penalty box?
Goals.
The person who scores the most goals gets the Rocket Richard Trophy, which is an award given to the National Hockey League's top goal scorer each year. The trophy was introduced in 1999 and named after the legendary Montreal Canadiens player. He must have been pretty good to get a hockey trophy named after him. Question 7. According to NHL.com, Connor McDavid is ranked as the number 1 player in the NHL. Which team does he play for? The Edmonton Oilers, the Pittsburgh Penguins, or the Boston Bruins?
Edmonton Oilers.
He plays for the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid is considered one of the best hockey players in the world, primarily due to his exceptional speed, agility, and playmaking ability, which often leave opponents struggling to keep up with him on the ice. Drawing comparisons to legendary players like Wayne Gretzky, his quickness and offensive dominance are considered unparalleled in the NHL today, which basically means Connor McDavid is an awesome hockey player.
I wish he was on Pittsburgh.
Well, that's funny because when we went to the NHL game, the Penguins played the Oilers, so we got to see Connor McDavid. But who won the game?
Me.
You won the game. No, the Penguins won the game.
And